What up, what up, what up? Hype Beasters Unicorn back again with another one. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Now's you chicken. I got my patio doors open, yeah. Sorry to change the subject. And I just heard some crazy loud thunder. It was loud. Like boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that was just mad. I think that's the Lord giving these karmics their karma. Yeah, we all know that still plotting and planning, suffering for the most part, suffering a lot, in fact. Mm, they're just getting what they sent out. Cannot that, can we? So yes, I have a. I didn't realize he did pages. Pages. So I had a two-to message, yeah. So basically, I am High Priestess Unicorn. Thank you for clicking on my channel. Thank you to all my beautiful subscribers. I'm truly grateful. Yes, I am a chosen 144,000 star seed. Well, I'm going to be furthering my last life conversation regarding the topic of healing your childhood traumas. I'm going to do this a little bit differently. Tell me you can't hear that. That was super loud. Oh no, that was super loud. Hold on, let me just, is that better? Okay, okay. That's a bit better. So yeah, and basically, as you all know about these should I say lower vibrational entities, um oops, oops, how do I put it like that? Yeah. So I don't know how to do free pick. Anyway, let me just say this. From you arise to see another sunrise, basically. You're blessed. God rest their soul to those that didn't wake up this morning. Now it's just bombing rain now. Anyway, hmm, yeah. basically that was God's plan. So obviously by the grace of God, you're here with me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know why I did that for. Sorry. Sorry, that is just a little bit too much, don't you think, darling? So yeah. But yeah, of course that was God's plan. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want you to think about, not too deeply, that we go off track, go back to an event or events that have stuck with you the longest and have had the biggest impact and most adverse effect on you. Mhm. Um, and also to the point of what event it was where you were at the point where you didn't see a way out or you really thought, shit, this is it, you know? Because those things play a part in your healing journey. Not trying to be funny, because that's what, in a sense, I'll tell you about a little bit story about me personally. Just give you this one. It kind of makes you, what's the word I can use? Without you realizing, when you hold on to or don't heal from things like that, what it does is it sets something in your brain. Do you know what I mean? Which instills such a high level of fear, that makes any sense. You kind of imprison yourself in that without realizing if that makes any sense. And that comes out in your demeanor, places you go, things you engage with, people you engage with. Do you know what I mean? And how you associate with people in general. It does, you know. Everybody's different, which is why I'll share my perspective um or my visions of it. So I start off with giving you like a I know when people say backstories, they don't literally mean like backstories. Um, yeah, I came from a toxic family. Yeah, that's an understatement. That's like my childhood was horrendous, but that's a whole. That was in like I think part one and two. I believe this one is part three. Well, you know what? I'm gonna put part three anyway. So let's carry on with the conversation, shall we? So, right. For the topic that I chose, the events that I picked, I didn't really want to go too deep because, like I said, why would you want to revisit things that have like obviously like when you're on this healing journey, obviously it doesn't affect you, but that's something I kind of left in the past now. But I'm only mentioning it to show as an example and to I don't know, just share some of my experiences. Really, do you know what I mean? Because as they say, I don't look like what I've been through. And that was God's plan. Yeah. So basically, we start off with this. This is one time when I didn't think. This is one of two occasions, maybe more, but this is only two that I think did the one of the worst damages outside of my parental figures. So yeah, I had a friend, and basically I had a child early, peer pressure and all that. That's a whole nother story, which I'll also share also to that. someone else may have been in similar circumstances. Do you know what I mean? Or you can use it to teach your children not to fall into that circumstance because that this is I was born in the 70s, so you can imagine how things are now. Now they have mobile phones and social media. We never had that growing up, so you know, for the most part, we got the best side of nature at that time. 'Cause we never had mobile phones, so we was always outside. Do you understand? We loved being in the grass. I loved going camping. I loved all that stuff. So basically, yeah, I had a child early, so I met this girl in this mother and baby unit, and she had a brother, and I think I was 17 at the time. She had a brother that was like heavy on drugs, was like a heavy alcoholic, but was also very abusive and psychotic. But when he was sober, because he spoke so polite and soft, you really couldn't see that side of him. Do you know what I mean? But I heard so many stories about this person, but I never actually saw it. So I just thought, whatever, and whatever. And I wasn't even used to it. So basically, yeah, he decided to um turn his advances to me. Out of all the friend group, he picked on me. Must thought I was the easy target. So anyway, tried to basically pursue a relationship. Not even, oh, let's get to know each other, let's be friends, just straight, yeah, a relationship. No, because first of all, I've recently given birth and I need to learn to be a mother, so that's the last thing on my mind. Do you understand? Not only that, I'm still healing from my C-section. Okay, so basically, because we lived, I think she lived on the, was she on the same floor as me? No, she was on the ground floor. I was on the first floor. But basically, her room was directly below mine because we was both in the corner. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, we was there for quite a while. Probably almost a year, or probably just over a year, I think. So anyway, as time went on, we got to know each other, started hanging out, that kind of thing, because our kids was quite close in age. I believe it's only literally like a month or so, few weeks if that. Do you know what I mean? It's not really like a big gap. So so yeah, and our kids became really, really close. It's like they recognized each other. So that was really, really nice. So I think because of that, purely because of that, uh, I developed a strong friendship with her, and she had a boyfriend, I didn't, and her son cried a lot. So he would come over and see her, but he never really stayed. So I think she wanted to go and visit him or something like that, and I think she asked me to babysit. Cool, so I babysit for her, but then that once every blue moon turned into like every weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Do you know what I mean? And it became too much. So yeah, and I think then what happened was one time I must have been babysitting. There must have been some type of family problems going on her end purely because, and also, and the thing about it, people that know me will know exactly who I'm talking about. Do you understand? Okay. So because their birthday's in the same month as mine, but we're two different ends and we're nothing alike. That's the thing. But the way they portray themselves is like they have the same type of characteristics as mine, and they don't. It's just fake. And not only that, also found out that this person, they were trying to get me into working with what they're doing, and then I found out in mental health, another hint, that her son told me blatantly, yeah, that she lost her job for what was it, sexual harassment, and what was it, inappropriate thingy. I really she had inappropriate behaviors with boys underage, basically. And the only reason why she wasn't prosecuted was because the boy he wouldn't give a statement. But the evidence was there, so she got sacked. She's working children's home, I believe. Yeah. So yeah, she's another hater. So yeah, it was her brother basically, and so I would tell her about it, yeah, and uh, she would say, "Oh, don't worry about it. We won't do nothing to you. He's harmless, blah 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 blah." And then plus he's got a woman anyway, so that's just a drink talking, ray tay 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 tay. But it was all the time, and because he didn't really go as hard as he would if he saw me alone, then if like we was together, he acted differently. Do you know what I mean? I kind of felt like she didn't believe me, so basically it came to a head twice, I think. But I saved the second story for another time because, yeah. But anyway, so basically I was babysitting, and I don't know if there was some type of family crisis that they tried to contact her for, and she would not answer her phone. And I don't know why, out of all the family, he took upon himself to go looking for her, and that was the wrong thing to do because he'd been drinking. And once he gets pissed off, 'cause I've heard his mouth before, but I've never seen that. With the other story I want to tell you, that was the uh, first time that I saw the level of his anger, how angry he can get over nothing. And it's like, I think it's paranoid delusion, so you need it out. So I forgave the actions in that sense purely to so I could heal. Do you know what I mean? Not saying it warrants their actions, and it's no excuse for what they did, you know. But I had more understanding if that makes any sense. So basically, that went on for a long time. So I babysitting him one day, and he turned up, and it's only because because it was in the evening, and I know if any of the other residents had woken up and called and the police had come, with him being in that state, they don't like police, and obviously the way he kicks off, it would have came back on her because you're not really supposed to have well, when you're not supposed to have alcohol in there anyway. But we did. But you obviously drink. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously you have children, blah blah blah. So he was trying to rip the door open. Yes, I literally purely the only reason why I came out to let him know was just to let him know that she's not here because he must have thought, oh, she's in there with a man and she doesn't want to answer the door. That's why she's not answering the buzzer. But honestly, she wasn't there. So I made him know that look, I'm babysitting. That set him off. How can you look after two babies and blah blah this and blah blah that? Like, what about if they're both hungry? Like, it was just. So then he's like, oh, I can't remember if I even told him where she'd gone. I didn't want to drop her in at the same time, but at the same time, I was terrified and I was caught off guard. I didn't expect him to come at me like that. Do you understand? So yeah, I was like, oh, so only thing I could think of to say, what else could I say? Because it was evening time. I couldn't say, oh, she's gone shopping. Do you know what I mean? Or she's gone to the shop. There was a shop literally like 50 yards across the road. Do you know what I mean? So that's not going to work. So all I could say was, oh, she's on a date. Boom. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously, had I mentioned names, he might have known the person and gone to the property because he was that crazy over his sister. But she just had a baby. What she's doing, having da 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 da. And I was like, but that's her business. Do you know what I mean? I have no idea. All I know is that I said I would babysit. Not, I also didn't tell him that this was like a regular thing, me babysitting. God forbid. And I'm glad I didn't. But has she appreciated it? Probably not. So anyway, so yeah. Um yeah, so basically when she finally came back, so basically he left and I managed to uh shut back the main outside door. I'm quite sure he did come back probably about 20 minutes later, but at this time it's like gone 11. So there's no way on God's green earth I'm answering the door through anybody because now it's late at night. And if he comes in again kicking off because I answered the door to him, that could put my tenancy in jeopardy. So hell no. Do you understand? So I heard him shaking the door and shouting and trying to ring everybody's buzzer. I just ignored it. Boom. So I told her and she'd come back and so forth and so forth. I might actually just add the story in anyway. So I told her and she obviously just brushed it off like it was nothing. Okay. So then I was at a good friend's house and we was drinking and I was a bit I felt a bit unwell. So her friend, a nice old guy, said, "Oh, it walked me home to make sure I get him safely, just in case I was sick. You don't want to be sick. No, no, you're pushing a pram. Just, do you know what I mean? Just, yeah." So anyway, he walks me to make sure I got him safely. Cool. Um, well, actually, it wasn't cool. We bumped into. However, and straight away, you could see, you just know it's gonna be trouble because it's not like I could have like turned the other way or run the other way because I had a pram. So where was I going? And number two, I'm going home anyway. Number three, it's none of your business. Because he's seen a male walking me home, he just assumed that the reason I rejected his advances was because I was really romantically involved with someone else, which I wasn't. Not that it was his business, but you cannot speak to someone that's crazy. Yeah, so basically, the guy trying to justify himself and explain himself. I'm trying to explain I didn't feel well, so he's walking end over and like any of your business. This man threw a full on head fit like I was his wife. And then he tried to choke me on the street. So then the guy intervened. Yeah. I swear he hit the guy, but the friend that had walked me home, fair play to him, he wasn't having none of it. He wasn't having none of it. And this guy was hitting him like at one point. I was terrified, thinking, shit, like, there's nothing I could do. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I can't put myself in danger with my child. So, and I was really close to where I lived anyway. So he ended up finding knowing where I fucking live because of that. Do you know what I mean? And I swear, we wouldn't open the doors. He ended up kicking the door off. Yeah, he ended up kicking the door off. And then he attacked the guy that walked me home purely because we didn't answer the door. So that made him angry. Why would you answer the door? Look how you're being. You couldn't say to me, "Oh, you've been drinking, you also been taking drugs, you're acting crazy, you're screaming, you're shouting. It's late at night. I have neighbors and I have a 1 year old. Are you serious?" But you couldn't say that to him. And he's like, "Oh, is this the reason why you didn't want me? Tell me the truth. Tell me the truth." I told the truth in the beginning. No, it's not. And the same guy that walked me tried to explain himself again and then be like, "Why are you doing this?" And he said, even if it was the case, she's a single woman. She can see whoever she wants. Who told him to say that? Who told him? And it's like to this day, it was just the thuds. It was just the thuds, literally, like the blows. I think he punched him once, and I think he stumbled back like 2 steps. And I remember him hitting him again, and this guy just dropped like a bag of trash. Literally, the way he just folded up, it looked like one of them folded jet that you just unhook and it just drops into place. One of them ones. But when you open it up, it's like this. When you pull it out, it just goes. Do you understand? The way it is, it's literally like he just did that from that to just that. And yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. Hence having to find words to explain exactly what I mean. So yeah, and then that wasn't it. Oh no no no, he wasn't over. He but then proceeded to stamp on this man's head. And I think it was the third stamp, and I screamed like, "You're gonna kill him!" You like stop. Like what the fuck? Yeah, because my friend turned up as well that night. So funny. I started to text her because yeah, my friend Natalie turned up as well. So she turned up in the mix of all this, and by this time, this guy is. Do you know what? When I think about it now, I thought the guy was dead. Oh my god, subscribers. I was so terrified. I was like, at least check if he's breathing. He was like, oh, don't touch him. I see you want him to. So my friend had to make sure he was still breathing. Yeah, it was horrific. Mind you, the only thing I'm truly grateful for is that my daughter did not wake up. Yeah, she did not wake up. I don't know how that little girl did not wake up, but she did not wake up. And I'm so glad she didn't. I would not have wanted her to have to experience or endure or hear any of that. So basically, this guy's, and I swear the last time I heard was like a cracking noise when he started. The first time when I heard that crack, and then I just seen the guy just like he was just still, like he just wasn't moving. I was like, oh my god, we thought he was dead. And then my friend's begging and begging and begging and pleading, like, just stop. Like, why are you doing this? Like, but because the guy was so drunk and so high on God knows what, he was in some delusional fantasy world. Literally, you could not. The way he's making out is like we've got this massive relationship. Like I'm literally his wife. He's helping me raise our daughter. That's not even his child. I'm thinking, what the fuck are you on about? Yeah. And then this man decides to put a knife to my throat. I never forget. And I've never experienced that. So I thought, what the? And I thought, if I move, that's how sharp the knife was. It was literally like, I literally had a scar across my throat where it was held to my throat like this. And it was like, it felt to me like it was a brand new knife. It felt so sharp. And it did. It left a scar, so obviously cut into my skin. This, listen, my friend had to beg for my life. Listen, my mouth was so dry, it's like I could barely swallow. Even swallowing, it was like a serrated edged knife. It wasn't a straight one. Do you know what I mean? The bits that I was pointing out when I was swallowing, I could feel that poking. Do you know what I mean? So I was terrified to move, and I thought this shit would just cut my throat. It just open it up. Yeah. So that gave me a fear of sharp utensils. I kid you not. Literally. If you had sharp utensils in your house, I would not feel safe. I would leave. That's how deep it is because of that experience. But yeah, there's a little bit more. I don't have to tell like every single last drop to you. But yeah, so that was one of the stories anyway. Oh, and my other one was um I can laugh about this one now because I actually peed myself. Wasn't even funny, but what think about now when I tell people the story and they say you peed yourself, you remember pee running in your face, and he was looking at me like, "How'd you work that one out? Well, I've been held upside down. Hello, where else did the pee? The pee's not gonna go upwards, is it? Because you've been held upside down, so the pee's not gonna go upwards, is it? It's just gonna come out and trickle straight down into your face." And that's what that was held over a balcony on the seventh floor by my at the time was my best friend's brother and his best friend, but they was drunk and high. Like that's not even funny. That literally ain't. 'Cause I was a child. They was adults, and they pretended to drop me like they was gonna drop me, and I was so terrified. I just froze literally. And I don't know if it was the fact that I froze or the position I was in. I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't hold it. Nothing I could do. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that was the second incident, and a um that gave me a really deep rooted fear of not having my feet on the ground or even being off the floor in general, and a wicked fear of heights, which it's taken me 40 years to conquer and get past, almost a lifetime. Yeah, and that's also caused me setbacks and losses. Do you know what I mean? Because certain things you would have to travel or go to other places, and that was not an option back then at all. But now, just give me the address, boo boo, and I'm there. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that was just the other two things. So let's go on to the rest. It just increased the fear level, basically. So yeah. But now I've overcome all these hurdles, obstacles, uh, addictions, traumas, curses, generational curses, mental health, all of that, medication, drugs and alcohol, and to be sat here like this, I was made for greatness. I absolutely was. And the beauty in it is, that's why they say never judge a book by its cover. Do you understand? Because people always seem to have this, always seem to have the wrong conception of me. They judge me all the time. They judge me wrongly and fairly. And it's only when they see it for themselves, when they're told it, they don't want to believe it. And even when they see it, it's hard for them to accept it. Do you understand? But it's fine, like each their own, innit? Like that doesn't affect me so. But yeah. And I find that funny actually. Do you know what I mean? Because really that just is just a reflection, they're just deflecting how they truly feel about themselves. So to escape from accountability, they project it back to you, to make it as if you're the one with the issue and you're the one with the problem. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah. So now I have a new lease on life. I sure do. I have a new lease on life. I had a rebirth. Like I literally felt reborn. I felt fresh, new, and honestly, it's an amazing feeling. Honestly, it's an amazing feeling. On the upside of things, but on the flip side, this awakening has shown, or should I say, revealed, all the secret haters and the jealous, envious enemies, and also my karmic criminal family. Yeah, I'm my karmic criminal half siblings, should I state. And I'm actually stunned at the level of hate and envy that these bitter, unhappy people had for me. Because the funny thing is, I always had this little inkling about like little resentment, but because I never understood where it came from, because do you know what I mean? Like they was treated way better than me. I was always the black sheep, the one that was ostracized, the one that was always blamed for everything, so I didn't get that. Like, where's that coming from? Like, that made no sense to me at all. Now I've been awakened and I know who I am. Now it makes sense. Yeah. So, yeah. But I never thought for a second that it was to this capacity and the extent that it was, and the action they took against me, unlawfully, unjustified, and flat out illegal and criminal. Which is why a lot of them just sleep on karma. And what can I say? Not much on that own front other than you kind of brought it on yourself. So, what do you really expect? There's no sympathy over here. No. But yeah, other than that, oh, this one like this every morning. It's the sound of the birds. It just sounds so peaceful and carefree, free spirited, limitless. Limitless. So yeah, that's what you want to talk about, guys. So thank you for listening. like, share, and subscribe. If you think there's any topics that I've not covered that you think that you'd like me, or you think I should look into or research or speak on, share my experiences or share my observations, just leave it in the description below. And also all my information in the descriptions as well. So yeah, peace out, guys. Thanks for having me.